Hey everybody, welcome back to the homestead. Well, we're back out in the garden today. Things are starting to kind of wind down in the garden for summer, at least in our summer garden here. But that doesn't mean that the harvesting is finished. There are a lot of things to still harvest, and today we've got quite a few things to get out of the garden.
This year is the first year we've ever grown any sizable amount of melons. We've tried a couple other times, didn't have much success at all, but this year we thought we'd give it a better try. We're growing 2 kinds of cantaloupe and 1 kind of watermelon, and we are just having a humongous harvest. We've already harvested about, I'd probably say, a dozen cantaloupe so far. Today is going to be a big harvesting day. There's just all of a sudden tons of them that are ripe. But we have not harvested a single watermelon yet this year. We've been learning how to tell when they're ready to be picked, and we think we have it mastered.
Right.
And if we do, that means that we have, I think, a couple, at least our very first watermelon to harvest today.
I really think that part of the success this year was having the ground cover down. It allowed the plants to grow without a lot of pressure from the weeds. It also gave us an opportunity to be able to see the plants and see what was going on and just really keep an eye on them. And I think that that really did make a big difference. Even though initially we struggled with a lot of the cucumber beetles and the squash bugs.
And vine borers.
Especially on the cantaloupe, they pulled through just fine. We planted probably twice as many as we needed. We lost probably half of them, but the ones that made it did really, really well.
We do still have a considerable amount of cucumber beetles on these plants and on the fruits. I'll show you when we do some harvesting the damage that they can actually do to the fruits themselves, but they pulled through. They have produced a ton of fruit. The cantaloupe plants are starting to die back now. We don't really know if that's just what they normally do near the end of the season. We don't know if the cucumber beetle pressure is finally starting to get at them, but either way, it doesn't matter to us at this point because there are just so many fruits on here and so many of them are becoming ripe right now.
Yeah, we're fine with the plants dying off at this point because there's probably 30 or more cantaloupes still to pick. So
the watermelon plants are still looking very healthy and fabulous. Overall, they just did not seem to be affected as much as the cantaloupe plants by any of the bugs. We did have squash bugs on them early on, but apparently it didn't really bother them much.
Right, yeah, the bugs definitely liked the cantaloupe a lot more than the watermelons. So we're gonna get busy picking. We'll show you guys along the way how many we're getting. And this is going to be a great day for harvesting. So we're going to start by harvesting cantaloupe today. I wanted to show you guys how we tell when they're ready. Cantaloupe are actually pretty easy because they change pretty significantly in what they look like once they ripen. So here's one here that is full grown as far as how big it is, but this one is not ripe really at all yet. You can see that the flesh is still very green underneath these little lines that are on top of it, but this one is definitely not ripe at all yet. Now there's some over here that are almost ripe, but not quite. Let me show you those. Okay, so these right here will be ripe in just a couple days, but they're not quite there yet. Even though they're starting to turn yellow on the flesh, you can see when you look closely that like these lines here still have some green. So that tells me that these still need a few more days. Even though, like I said, they're close, when you pick it up and look, you can see that they're just really not quite there yet. But here's one that is definitely ready to pick. You can see when we pick it up that there's no green left at all. Maybe just a tiny bit on the bottom, but that's normal because that's where it wasn't getting any sun. And it comes off the plant very, very easily. It smells awesome. When we're done harvesting today, we'll take these in the house, we'll cut them up and show you guys just how beautiful these are. So that's how we're gonna go through all of these plants. We're gonna look at everything that's out here and see which ones are ready to harvest today. I think there's at least a dozen more to harvest.
So it looks like we got 8 really good keepers, 2 that might be okay. We'll have to wait and see when we cut into them if they're going to be okay. And there were a couple that, you know, just were kind of not good, so we'll give those to the pigs. I want to show you, though, something that happens occasionally with melons. And we have experienced this a couple times with the cantaloupe on this variety. This is our second cantaloupe that has split. And a lot of times this is due to overwatering, or if you get a big rain, the moisture gets into the melons too fast and it causes them to burst, along with the heat, which puts a lot of pressure on these fruits. This hasn't happened too many times with this variety of cantaloupe, but I want to show you the other variety of cantaloupe that we're growing, and really that the splitting has become a real problem. Now, I can't for the life of me remember the names of these 2 varieties that we're growing, but I will double check and put that information in the description below this video. But I want to show you this other variety and what's been happening. You can see that this has split on the end. And it's been split for a while, obviously, because it looks like it's getting a little bit moldy. This has happened to every single melon of this variety out of our garden this year. We haven't had a single one make it to full ripeness before it burst like this. You can also see all of the damage on the outside of these melons. That is what the cucumber beetles have been doing. This is all damage from the cucumber beetles. So in a market garden situation, even if these were to get to full maturity without bursting, customers probably wouldn't buy this based on how the outside of this looks. Well, here's another one that I just found split, and it is also starting to mold. Now in these cases, because it's open so far and it's starting to mold, we'll give these to the pigs. But there have been several that we've found where they just barely started to burst open at the bottom. There wasn't any mold or anything yucky, so we were able to eat those. We just cut off the split part and we were able to eat the rest of it, and they did taste very good. In these cases though, these are starting to split before they're even fully ripe. You can see how green they are. They definitely aren't coming off the vine, so it's really a shame. I would say that we're not ever going to grow this variety again. We just haven't had enough successful cantaloupe coming off of these vines.
Well, I've got 4 cantaloupe that were too bad for us to eat, but they'll be perfect for the pigs. Let's take it down and give them to the pigs. Hey pigs, you want some cantaloupe? They love cantaloupe. I don't blame them. I gotta try to get them to break open a little bit more though, because they like to mostly eat the inside.
So we have quite a few giant watermelons in the watermelon patch right now, and I think maybe more than one is ready. But I want to tell you the trick to determining whether or not your watermelons are ready to be picked. There's one foolproof way that I've learned. So go to your watermelon, most of the time they're going to be the biggest one, and find the end that has the stem on it. locate the stem and then where it connects to the rest of the vine. And right across from it, there is a curlicue tendril. It's not a leaf, it's just a curlicue tendril. And when that tendril is completely dried up all the way up to the vine, your watermelon is ready to pick. This big guy, he's ready to pick. This one right next door is also ready to pick. Now it doesn't seem like they come off the vine at their stem as easily as a cantaloupe does when it is ripe. So I'm going to grab some scissors so I can cut it off the vine so that I don't break it. So I'm going to cut our very first watermelon. I'm going to leave a little bit of the stem on there. Here we go. Our very first watermelon. Oh my gosh. This is huge. It's so heavy. It's probably 30 pounds, I would say 30 pounds. This isn't even the biggest one in here. There's a giganto one right next to me, right here. And I think that guy is ready to go too. I might not even be able to pick that one up.
All right, we're gonna get this one out of here so that I can go look at that really big one. Man, these are nice. This is exciting. This is the first year that we've been successful with watermelons. We've grown them in the past and we've gotten some tiny little ones, but never anything like this. All right, so here's the stem. We'll follow it back to where the vine is. Here's the tendril. And it is definitely dry all the way back to the vine. Now this was a leaf that died, so you can't look at that one. It's this one right here. It's completely dry. So we're gonna cut that and get this big one out of here. Wow, that's awesome. Unfortunately, there are a lot of the bugs. But fortunately, we're getting the watermelon before the bugs. We just need to go through every one of them now and look which ones are ready and which ones aren't. We're gonna get picking and we'll take the good ones in the house. So here's one that I was just checking that isn't quite ready yet. Let me show you the difference so you can see. So here's the watermelon, and we'll follow the stem back to the vine, and then right across here is the tendril, and you can see that it is still green. It's starting to get just a little brown at the end, but it's still got quite a ways to go. So this one is definitely not ready to pick. All right, here's another one. These are looking great.
Woo! The big one. So awesome. $11 watermelon on our very first picking. That is incredible. I think we're going to be eating one watermelon every day. Well, I don't think that we have enough time to eat one watermelon every day, so we either need to eat multiples or we need to sell some at the farmer's market. We'll probably sell some at the farmer's market, but this is so exciting. I think this might be the most exciting part of the garden so far this year. I cannot wait to cut into one and take a taste.
We're back up by the house. We got a nice shady spot here where our picnic table is, so we thought we would cut up one of each of these melons, test them out, see how they are, and show you guys how beautiful they are. I think we'll start with the cantaloupe. Now, the truth is, Sarah doesn't like cantaloupe.
I don't.
She's tried it many times.
I try it every year. It's so pretty, but you guys, I don't even like the smell of it. I don't know. I remember the first time I tried cantaloupe, I was actually 4. I remember it, and it was so pretty, and I thought I would love it, and I tried it and I hate it. But I love to grow it, and I love that our family loves it.
Right, yeah. Samantha and I both will sit down and eat almost an entire cantaloupe if we have the chance, so.
Yeah. Grace, not so much.
No, but everybody loves the watermelons. How can you not love watermelon?
I know,
so,
watermelon.
All right, we're gonna start by cutting this in half and see how it looks.
Woo!
Wow,
Look at that.
Look how gorgeous that is.
That's like perfect.
That is an amazing looking cantaloupe.
They are beautiful.
There's barely any green left around the edges.
Yep.
The seeds are ready to come out.
Yep.
I'm gonna cut this thing up.
It's very, very fragrant.
Honestly, what would be perfect if we already had our cow, scoop of ice cream right there in the middle,
Ooh!
and then just eat it.
Ice cream and cantaloupe?
Yum, that would be awesome.
Does that even sound good to anybody? I don't even think I'd do watermelon and ice cream.
All right, let's try it.
I've never seen anybody cut that like that. Oh, you should just do this.
Wow, that is really good. Now I have to admit, it would be better if it was cold from the fridge. It's still warm from being in the garden, but holy cow. Tons of flavor, super juicy.
Okay, let's cut open this watermelon. This is actually one of the smaller watermelons that we picked.
We wanted to save the big ones so that the kids could see them when they get home.
Yeah, but I think this one is nice and ripe, perfectly ready. And then we can eat this before the kids come home.
True.
And they'll never know.
We'll just tell them we only picked 10.
Yep.
All right, let's see how this looks.
Woo, it like burst open.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, look how beautiful that is.
That is awesome.
Seriously, he cut into it and like almost burst wide open. Look, it cracked.
Yeah, it did.
Ow.
It's not gonna affect the way it tastes. Wow, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful. Now the variety of watermelon is called strawberry watermelon. It's from Baker Creek. Comes highly recommended.
It does have seeds.
I'm gonna make a total fool of myself because I'm gonna have watermelon juice like
I'm gonna let you try it first.
falling out of my face. Mmm.
Is it good?
Mmm. It's so sweet.
Holy cow.
Very good.
That is like pure sugar almost. I mean, in a good way. There's like nothing but sweetness.
We just sit here the rest of the day and eat watermelon?
No.
Why?
I got other stuff to do. We're so excited that this year we're finally having some great success growing melons. It's something that we've tried before and just never really worked out. I think that we finally found what's going to work for us here in the Ozarks.
It gives me a lot of hope for the future also. I'm confident now maybe to try even a couple different varieties of watermelon. That would be fun.
Well, that's where we're going to end today's video. We have more work to get done, but it is hot out, so this is the time of day to take just a little bit of a break so that when evening comes around, we can get back to work. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button before you leave. If you know someone else who would enjoy this video, go ahead and share it on all of your social media. We sure would appreciate that. And until next time, thank you so much for stopping by the homestead. Take care, and God bless.
God bless.